Microplastics. You've probably heard about them before, but you might not know how these tiny pieces of plastic impact our environment and our lives. So let's talk about what they are, how they affect us, and why they are important to biology. Microplastics are incredibly small pieces of plastic, usually less than 5 millimeters in size. They come from larger plastic debris that breaks down over time due to sunlight, water, and mechanical abrasion. You've probably heard about plastic bottles or bags that take hundreds of years to decompose. Well, as they break down, they turn into microplastics. They also come from things like synthetic clothing fibers in our laundry, or even from personal care products like face scrubs and toothpaste with microbeads. They're everywhere, in oceans, rivers, soils, and even in the air. But because they're so small, we can't always see them, which is why they're such a hidden problem.
Now, you may be wondering, how does this affect my daily life? You might be surprised, but microplastics are part of our lives in ways we don't realize. For example, recent studies have shown that microplastics are found in bottled and tap water. They can even be in our food, especially seafood like fish and shellfish, because marine animals often mistake microplastics for food. And when we consume these foods, we ingest microplastics too, though scientists are still researching the long-term effects on human health. Microplastics can contain harmful chemicals, and some research suggests they may cause inflammation or other issues in our bodies over time. Now, you might ask yourself, how can we see something so small? This is where a compound microscope comes in handy. If you take a sample of water, like from a lake, river, or even your tap water at home, you can filter it to collect any tiny particles left behind. Once you place the filter residue under a compound microscope, you can observe microplastics up close. They might look like fibers, fragments, or beads. Scientists use this technique to study where microplastics are most concentrated and what kinds are present.
Now, why are they such an urgent concern for biologists? This is due to the fact that microplastics are affecting our ecosystems and organisms. When marine animals like fish, turtles, or even tiny plankton eat microplastics, it can cause serious harm. These plastics don't break down easily, so they stay in their bodies, potentially blocking their digestive systems or releasing toxic chemicals that can eventually lead to death. Since many marine organisms are at the base of the food chain, the effects of microplastics can travel up the chain to larger animals, including us humans. Understanding these impacts is important to biology because it affects biodiversity, food webs, and ecosystem health. The more we know about how microplastics interact with living organisms, the better we can address this problem.
In conclusion, microplastics can be small but mighty when it comes to their impact. Some practical ways we can reduce the harmful effects of microplastics are by avoiding single-use plastics, like plastic bags, straws, and water bottles. And instead, we can opt for glass bottles, cloth shopping bags, and even bamboo or reusable utensils. Another way is by recycling correctly. If you make sure that you're recycling plastic products correctly and choose products from companies that are committed to recycling and reducing plastic waste, we can help in the initiative. By making small initiatives in our daily lives, we can all contribute to reducing microplastic pollution and its harmful effects. Hopefully this video was helpful in informing you about microplastics. Thank you so much for watching.